Replacing PCV pipes on an Audi TT Mk1. Hi all, Andy here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering replacement of PCV pipes just like this on your Audi TT Mk1. Now we know the PCV system on these cars is over 20 years old, starting to get brittle and failing, and there are a couple of options out there if this is the case for you. One, you can replace the PCV system entirely with a catch can. I have covered that in a previous video, so if you want to check that out then please click the link above. Or you can replace the PCV pipes as they fail on the car with silicone replacements. Now you can, if you're lucky, find the original OEM parts, but they are becoming very rare. So a silicone pipe is a better alternative. Why is that? Well, silicone is a lot more hardware than the rubber pipes that come on the OEM pipework, and this will last a lot longer. It's a lot more rigid. And while we talk about being more rigid, let's talk about the failures. What happens on a failing PCV system? Well, the pipes over the years, they suffer from oil vapour going through them, because that's what the PCV system, the positive crankcase ventilation system, is doing. It's taking that oil vapour from the engine, the output from the crankcase, and passing that back into the combustion cycle. So oil vapour trickles down these pipes, condenses, and over time softens them up, and they cause collapsing. A collapsed pipe in your PCV system means that your turbo is going to be starved of air, which means it can't supply the engine and the combustion cycle when your engine needs it most, causing your car's performance to be quite flat. And we're going to be replacing this particular part, and I'm going to put the part number on screen. And this particular part, as you can see, is shaped, and it goes from the bottom of the PCV valve and in to one of the inlets on the turbo intake pipe, the tip. And this kit has cost me just £23, and it also comes with a pair of Jubilee clips for us to attach it. Now there are some steps that we're going to cover during the installation that I think are important to cover to ensure when you replace pipes on a PCV system, you're making sure you don't suffer from leaks and you get the job done first time, and of course you don't cause more damage to the already brittle system. And because of the brittleness of this system, I would recommend not replacing it all at once and causing untold amounts of vacuum leaks. What I would do is replace the pipes as they need it. So this is the first pipe I'm replacing on the PCV with a silicone pipe. So let's get on with the fitting, show you where it is on the car. So first things first, we need to remove the plastic engine cover, which I have already disconnected from the clips. And the part that we're looking at is just down here. This is your PCV hockey puck, as it's called. And you can see at some point, this has already been reattached to this pipework because it has a Jubilee clip in place. Now, normally you'd see the one-time clips in place on the Audi TT Mk1 if that pipe had not been off before. I can see with how soft and how easy that moves, that pipe work is pretty brittle. So I'm going to have to be really careful, because some of these other pipes, they also feel quite soft, but the pipe that we're going to replace is the one from the bottom of the puck that goes down to the turbo intake pipe. So to get the best access to this pipe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this Jubilee clip right here and then pull the puck away to the side, holding on to the pipework that's left behind so that we don't cause any cracks and breaks in this very brittle pipe. I'm holding on to the puck with my hand to ensure there's minimum movement to this pipe that I'm releasing. And there you go, you can see the Jubilee clip is backing right off. So that should now just slip, there we go, down the rubber pipe, being careful not to damage it anywhere. And you can see now that that is starting to move, there we go, very gently away from the puck, and I am holding on to it and supporting it so it doesn't damage any more than we need to. And there we go, we've got that pipe off. Now I haven't disrupted that too much, there doesn't seem to be damage or cracking in that. I'm just going to take that Jubilee clip off there so we can give that a good inspection. Yep, that looks to be okay. Doesn't seem to be any cracks or damage there, so I think we're all good. The puck is now off, and there's only one pipe that is connecting it, and that goes down to the tip, and that is much further down It's got a metal retaining clip that holds it into the tip. I can feel that right down there. There's actually 2 clips on that. We haven't got to worry too much about this pipe because it's so soft. We are replacing it. We need to make sure that the puck is okay, and we'll inspect that while it's off also. This pipe is unlike to have been removed from the puck before, and I can see it is pretty much welded on. So I'm going to have to be really careful removing this so I don't break the puck. So what I'm going to do is get some pry tools and just work my way around the edge of that pipe there, just lifting it away from the puck. We can see, there we go, we can see that by doing that and lifting that away from the edge of that puck, we have got some movement there, so it's not completely welded onto the base of the puck there. And there we go, we're almost off now. It's, there you go. So there is the puck, and you can see there's a bit of vapour that's built up around the puck. It looks quite dry inside if we look right down in there, so it's not too bad. I'm going to put the puck to one side. If I put that pipe down there and just measure that, offer it up, you can see it's just the perfect shape and size to put back on. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get access to the clip that's just down there on the tip. Now my thoughts on doing that, and it is all about getting access to these parts and not bending things out of the way, is I am going to disconnect the tip from the airbox. So we've got a bit of movement in the tip and we can get to that a bit easier. I can bend that down out of the way, but again, I don't want to put that pipe to the tip under too much load. And I also want to use a clip removal tool so that I don't damage the tip in any way, shape or form. Now we can see this pipe here has a single-use Jubilee clip right there, and this raised bit, which they call the ear, is the pinched bit on these clips. And the best way to remove it is with these removal tools. Just get it either side of that like that and just push together and pinch it off, being careful not to damage the rubber pipe. And the best way to do this is to remove this airbox lid so I can get better access down there. So I'm going to start by removing this Jubilee clip here that connects the tip to the MAF. So there we go, we can just remove that and back that away like that. So that is off. And now I need to remove the bolts that hold the airbox lid in place. It's the first 10mm bolt out. Of course, this will give us a good look at the air filter in the airbox also. That will allow us to remove the top cover. And before we disconnect this, let's remove the clip, the power clip for the MAF. Just push that lever down and that slides off like that. Now this whole airbox lid will come away like that. So there's the filter. It actually doesn't look too bad. There's a few bits in there, but I think we quite happily reuse that. So we'll put that to one side. And there is a second 10mm nut just at the front of the airbox here, which we're going to remove. I've also pushed the battery cover out of the way just for now so I can get on this 10mm bolt, because again, the key to this job is to making access as easy as possible so you don't disrupt any of these PCV pipes. You can now lift the bottom of the airbox out of the way like so, and we've got much more room to work on the clips we need to remove. So there is a good look at the pipe, so we can see there's that one ear there and this one ear here. These are the 2 clips we're going to remove from the pipe, and you can see I've got so much more room to work down there now. I'm not fighting against other pipes, I'm not risking further damage. And what that allows me to do is pinch that up a bit tighter. So now you can see that clip is spinning right round. I've actually undone it. We'll move that up the pipe. There we go, move that right away from the pipes. I'm going to hold on to the tip itself, because what I don't want to do, even though I'm prying this pipe away, I don't want it to actually move the tip too much. In fact, I can now spin that. You can see I can spin that pipe. And there we go, it just pulls off as easy as that. So that has stayed intact, that pipe has stayed intact, and we can take a good look now at this soft rubber pipe we've removed. So there we have the old pipe, and here is the new pipe, and you can see they are pretty much the same length, but it's the actual thickness of the pipe that really makes a difference. I don't know if you can see that side by side. The old pipe is really quite thin. It's also so soft. Look, I can collapse that down flat. So of course, any boost, that is just collapsing just like that, and that's not helping the airflow. This isn't moving, and this is our new pipe. You can see it's got these lovely inserts already inside it. It's molded to the right shape. This is not going to compress. Now, we talked about those inserts, and to fit this pipe, what I'm going to do on the parts, on the puck, and also on the pipe that goes into the tip, I'm going to put a small smidge of brand new engine oil around, just to give it a bit of lubrication as it goes on, because we don't want to be forcing this on, which could again cause a bit of pressure against the old parts and cause them to break. That should allow them to slip on nice and easy. We can do up the new Jubilee clips that came with this pipe, and we will be in business. No more collapsed boost pipe, nice rigid pipe just like this. So let's get this on the car. Now, of course, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and we removed both of these clips off this pipe, but don't forget that second clip was attaching the insert into the tip pipe, so we could have left that one in place. So I'm going to replace that one and make sure that's added on again, because you don't want to cause any boost leak. So we'll put another clip just on there, and there we go. We've put that clip back in position, and you can see that doesn't move. It's gripping the pipe quite tightly now. It's not going to be moving anywhere, and I don't want to do it up so it makes the pipe damage or collapse underneath, but tight enough so the pipe will grip the insert and not go anywhere. A bit of fresh engine oil and our pipe. So we'll put a small bit of engine oil just around there, just like that. And then that should now slip nicely into our pipe. Now we know the long bit of the pipe is the bit that slips onto our puck. So I'm going to be very careful. There you go, slip straight on. Push it right down like that. And I know that from the position of the puck that the actual, there we go, it needs to be at that sort of position that the puck is coming out that way, but the bend is at 90 degrees away from it. So I think that is now aligned to where our tip goes. And it's important when you put these components into their orientation that they do line up, because you don't want to put any twists into this, because obviously that's going to cause it to collapse in time. So make sure the pipes are all following their natural contours. A bit of engine oil, there we go, around that insert just like that, so it will slip over that edge nice and easy when we put it into place. And I'm going to support this as we put it through and thread it back into its natural position. Just push that all the way home, like that, and that is now right up to where we need it. And do that up. If you want to use a socket rather than a screwdriver for these Jubilees, the size of them is 7mm, which is actually a better tool to use than fighting with a screwdriver. But our pipe is now on and secure, and we are going to get no boost leaks from that. And with our Jubilee clips done up at the top of the pipe as well, on the hockey puck, it's time to reassemble. There we have our brand new silicone hose going right down to the tip from our hockey puck. You can see it's much bigger and more rigid than the other pipes around. We've caused no damage. It's all done up nice and tight. So now we can get on with test driving the car. So that's my quick guide on replacing PCV pipes on the system. Again, take your time, make sure you've got good access all around to remove the pipes, and don't cause further damage to other potential close by pipes. Take your time and make it count, and then you can get rid of things like this from your PCV system, which is doing no good. And of course, if this video has helped you, then why not think about becoming a member of my channel? There's a join link down below. And of course, if you've enjoyed the video itself, then give it a thumbs up. It costs nothing and it helps get this message out to more people. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more content on the Audi TT Mk1. As always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care.